Puerto Rico, America's forgotten murder capital. When a government cannot provide light, water, or safety, it ceases to be a government of the people. Anonymous Puerto Rican protester, San Juan, 2024. The dark storm over America's island. Puerto Rico, the so-called island of enchantment, is bleeding in the shadows of America's prosperity. While Washington politicians posture over foreign wars and climate funding, a brutal and largely ignored truth festers in our own backyard. Puerto Rico now holds the unenviable title of the murder capital of the United States. With a homicide rate that has eclipsed every state, the island territory is gripped by gang violence, government corruption, decaying infrastructure, and hopeless dependency, while its people, American citizens, suffer in silence. This is not merely a crime story. This is a story of systemic rot and governmental failure, local and federal. And it is a story that demands attention, reform, and above all, courage. By the numbers, Puerto Rico's homicide crisis. In 2024, Puerto Rico saw a 15.3 per 100,000 homicide rate, far surpassing any U.S. state, including notorious cities like Chicago and Baltimore. Gangs tied to the drug trade operate unchecked. Police, underpaid and outgunned, are demoralized and under-resourced. In some areas, they've simply stopped patrolling at night. Federal efforts at intervention are slow, reactive, and often hijacked by local political corruption. Why is this happening on U.S. soil? Because unlike Texas or Florida, Puerto Rico is caught in a political twilight zone, functioning as a U.S. territory, without the full rights, representation, or resources of statehood, yet shackled by a bloated, often socialist-leaning local government that breeds corruption. Infrastructure in ruins, power, water, and shadow. Let's be clear. Puerto Rico's infrastructure would collapse completely without federal aid. Its power grid is a disaster, patched together with duct tape and prayer. In 2022, Hurricane Fiona left hundreds of thousands in darkness for weeks. In April 2025, another island-wide blackout paralyzed more than 1.1 million residents. Water treatment facilities are decades behind, and wastewater overflows into streets and beaches after minor storms. Who's to blame? The privatized utility company Luma Energy, tied to political insiders, receives billions in U.S. aid, yet delivers third-world service. Transparency is a joke. Accountability is non-existent. The curse of corruption. After Hurricane Maria, billions flowed into Puerto Rico. Much of it vanished into what locals call El Saco Roto, the broken sack. A 2024 study revealed that anti-corruption laws passed after Maria ironically opened the door to more fraud, especially through government outsourcing. That's right. Anti-corruption laws made the corruption worse. Every level of government is infected. It is common knowledge that jobs and contracts go to friends, family, or political donors. Local officials are rarely prosecuted, and when they are, it's often federal agents, not Puerto Rican authorities, who take action. A culture of dependency? One painful truth: Puerto Rico has become a client state of the Democratic Party and a breeding ground for government dependency. With nearly 45% of the population on welfare, the local political machine encourages socialism-light policies that promise everything but deliver nothing. Compare this to self-governing municipalities in places like Florida or Texas, where private initiative, law enforcement funding, and infrastructure investment go hand in hand. Puerto Rico's political class doesn't want freedom, it wants federal bailouts. What can be done? This isn't a hopeless story, but the window for action is closing. Here's what must happen now. A. Federal intervention with conditions. Immediate audit of Luma, energy, and all disaster relief expenditures. Deploy federal law enforcement to target gangs and root out political corruption. Condition aid on reform. No more blank checks to the same broken institutions. B. Statehood or independence. Puerto Rico needs a definitive status, not purgatory. Either integrate as a state with full accountability or allow for an independence referendum. What we have now is neither democracy nor dignity. C. Citizens must rise. The Puerto Rican people are not the problem. They are the victims of their political class. But the time for silence is over. Like American patriots of old, they must demand liberty, security, and governance that serves them, not foreign ideologies. A final word: America must care. Puerto Ricans are Americans. They fight in our military, they pay our taxes, and yet they live in third-world conditions while Washington funds Ukraine and subsidizes green energy boondoggles. This is a moral failure. If we cannot secure our own territory, protect our own citizens, and enforce the rule of law in places like San Juan or Ponce, then what are we doing pretending to be the world's superpower? Let Puerto Rico be the test. If we can't fix this on American soil, we can't fix anything. If you want to see America's future under socialism, look at Puerto Rico. Government dependency, endless corruption, no accountability, and the people suffer. Dr. Dan Mason.